Hello everyone and welcome back to Crayon Code. Now that we've built the day phase of the switch in the previous episode, let's build the night phase with the moon and a few sparkling stars. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and let's get this continued with. So let's start by turning off the lights, which means that we're going to transition the lighter blue into a darker one, which is why we're going to take this one into the unchecked styles here. So let's find the end from them. Which one's the right one? Here, there. So we're going to have this one for the unchecked styles. And so the border color is going to fade to a darker blue, to A545. Prepared this color codes, but it's always messed to type them. Background color 223349. So and now I hope this is going to work. So let's give it a click. Yeah, very nice. So you can see we have daytime, nighttime. So styling is still messed up for the nighttime, but what actually works quite smoothly is the transition of the background color from dark to light. So very nice. And since everything appears a little bit darker during nighttime and the mountains look that way quite ugly, let's give them a little bit of a more beautiful color. We are going to make them a little bit of a darker gray in the night. So yeah, it's night times. It's 7 3 times. This should be actually a colon here. And the border color will also be faded to a little bit of a darker gray. And what should actually now be visible is, yeah, you can see here, darker gray, lighter gray. Very nice. Okay. So what I want to do now is that whenever the switch to the nighttime appears, the sun should lower, which means it should be transitioned from the very top to the very bottom. And let's do this now. So in our block of unchecked styles, we again need a block for the celestial bodies, which is also the sun, later also the moon, where we're going to have a transition delay of 0. This is going to be useful later. And the top will now be a variable which I'm going to call shift. Let's define it a little bit later. And the position will remain at the right. So because we have been seeing that it jumps to the left, don't want that. And as mentioned in the last part, that the scale will be going down to 0. And let's actually now find the spot for the shift variable itself, which is going to be up here, yeah, with all our other variables. Now, since I want the sun to disappear completely and move a decent bit downwards, let's also calculate it proportionally to the height of the switch times, yeah, let's move it 20% more down. So I think this will actually work. So let's give it a try. Yeah, very nice. You can see the sun is lowering and getting smaller. Color is faded to dark blue, and here the mountains are also getting grayer. Very nice. Now, since we're able to transition to nighttime, we need some markup, which is going to be the moon. It's also a celestial body. And yeah, actually now, since we're going to style the nighttime now, let's remove the checked attribute and start by default with the night mode. And you can see the ugly green circle, which we're going to take care of now. So let's head back to the actual styling code. Just like the sun, let's give the moon also a little bit of a more prettier color. Prepare this one also. So D2CEC4, which is a little bit more border color, and hash A9A8F. So yeah, at least the border color worked. And here I have a typo. So you can see that didn't choose a gray itself. It's has a little bit of a yellowy tone, so that it's distinctable from the mountains. And yeah, this looks actually quite nice this way. So, and now I want to have the moon in the right position during the checked state, which means that, let's put it this way, that the transition delay is also 0 milliseconds here. We will see why this is useful later. And the position left, which we have, did we define it before? Let's see. No. And yeah, let's put this actually for, yeah, it's basically just a padding. and that should almost work. So inside the checked state now we have the left, and let's shift it a little bit more to the top. In the checked state it also needs to be scaled down to 0%. So if we start switching now, yeah, we already have the scale. And now since we're missing the style, the positioning for the unchecked state, we are going to put this, yeah, down here. And you can see I'm switching the transition delay here alternatively, or I'm alternating the transition delays. And we will see. So for the top now, we will have this positioned at the padding, and on the left, this is going to be the position left. And since we're going to add a few craters, let's also put overflow hidden, and let's make sure that the scale is also 1 on the checked state. So if we actually give it a go now, we can see that sunrise, moonrise, very nice. And since the moon looks actually a little bit dull in here, so let's add a few craters, which is here for the overflow hidden necessary. And yeah, let's put the markup up there. The craters are part of the moon, which is why we're putting them inside the moon. And yeah, let's actually make 5 craters. Yeah, should be enough. And since the craters don't really depend on the checked or unchecked state, because they will also be inside the moon, always actually. So let's put them inside the default state here, where we have the craters diff. And for each crater in there, we have the same background color, D2, CE, C4, and the same border color, A9, A18, F, and I missed the hash here for the hex code. And yeah, since we're able to scale this, let's configure the border width. I want it to be a little bit smaller than the outer border, but never larger and never smaller than 1 pixel, which is why I'm going to use the max function here. So it's either the border width times 0.65, so 60%, 65% of the border width. And if this one happens to be smaller than 1 pixel, it was going to be 1 pixel. So we can ensure that the border of the craters is always visible. And let's put the border style to solid. And every crater needs to be positioned absolute inside the moon, which is why I'm going to put this here. So, and now we're going to apply an nth child styling again. And let's actually put border radius 50% for each crater, because yeah, let's make every crater round. Let's make it that way that we calculate the width again relative to the switch size, because that's the total thing here, where we make this one 15% and yeah, height. And for the top position, we are going to have this at 70% of the switch size, and for the left position, let's put it at 40%. So we have a crater a little bit more down there. And let's take care of the other 4 craters as well. So for the second one, this is going to be quite large with 30% of the switch size. Let's put it 1% there and one crater to lap a little bit out of it. So we are going to put it for -5% to the left, which is why it's now only halfway visible. It's actually also quite nice. So number 3 is going to be smaller, actually quite small, 10% of the switch size, and it will be at 20% of the switch size to the top and 60% to the left. Good. And still 2 to go, 4 and 5. Let's take care of 4. Also, well, 10%, 10%, and here 30 and 25%. So it should overlap a little bit one with the bigger crater. Looks quite good. And for the last one, finally, hope that pays off. 20% for this one, and 50% and 80% for that. So yeah, very nice. We have another crater which slightly laps out of it. Great. Good. And I think I messed up something with the color code, because this has a slightly greenish color. here. So let's actually check that. Yeah, here I have a typo. This should be a 9. So the borders now align with the border color of the moon. Looks actually quite nice. So, but the right side still looks a little bit empty here, since we have at daytime a cloud. Yeah, it's a little bit empty. So let's put stars here. So a clear night. And cool thing would be now if we can make it that the cloud now morphs into stars, which are going to appear on the right hand side. So let's head over to the section of the unchecked styles and take care of the stars. So we have the mountains now. Let's put styling for the decorations, which is also, I think I already set position absolute. So let's make them, stars are white naturally and they are perfect circles, which is why we're going to set the border radius for 50%. The width is going to be, and since I also want stars not to be smaller than 2 pixels here, I'm again using the max function where I say it's the border width and from that on 75%. But if that happens to be smaller than 2 pixels, it's going to be 2 pixels. Oh, yeah, missed that one here. And here same goes for the height, such that we can have a little bit of stars here. And now let's position them individually. On the top side, it's going to be, again, relative to the switch size, 70%. Keeps happening to me. And yeah, let's put it to the left here. And yeah, a little bit more to the right. You can see it's already here. So yeah, we have a star here, our first star. So let's put the other 4 stars as well. For the second one, I want this to be a little bit more upwards and a little bit more to the left. For the third one, let's put it here a little bit more to the right again. And yeah, with 2.2, yeah, looks good. And for 5th and 4th, this is going to be a little bit more upwards and a little bit more to the left. So yeah, very nice. So what now would be great if the stars could be sparkling. So let's put a little bit of animation on it. So let's define a little bit of more keyframes. Let's call it sparkle, which is basically simply transitioning from opacity at 1 to an opacity of, let's say, 25%. And this is going to be also like the clouds vibing. We will alternate it. And yeah, we're actually going to put that. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, very nice. Animation, let's make the sparkling a little bit faster than the vibing. Let's make it eased. And of course, it will also run infinitely often. And the animation direction will also be alternating. Yeah, very nice. So now they all spark in sync. Sparkle, ease in, out, infinite. Here, missed that one. Very good. So now it should actually look much smoother, but I actually don't like that they all sparkle in sync. So let's do it like with the clouds, that we add some transition delays, animation delays and different speeds. So let's put 300 milliseconds and the duration for 3 seconds here, such that we have a little bit of a smaller sparkling there and a little bit more smaller, not smaller, but slower. 800 milliseconds. And yeah, let's actually use the same variables, values from that one. So now we have 2.5 seconds. And you can see that they all now sparkle a little bit differently, which makes it actually look quite nice. And now I hope it works now. If we switch, I think I forgot somewhere to make it actually transitionable. Let's see if I forgot on the decoration, on each decoration itself. Here, transition all, where we're going to use the transition duration. And it's going to be eased. So let's see if that now works. Yeah, you can see now the stars morph into the clouds and the clouds morph into the stars. And now you can also see how the transition delays on the sun and the moon work, because first the moon sets, then the sun comes out, and that's why I also switched the delays from day to night, because now first the sun sets, then the moon comes out. So it makes it actually look nice. Yeah, and that's all you need to create such a nice little day-night switch. I hope you enjoyed creating it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and see you next time.